NOC, could I get IFB? I got it there, thank you. They're in tracking mode, Derek. That's why there's no units. Cool. That's gotta be him there, huh? Yeah. Yeah, going really fast. They're in tracking mode. That's what we want to see in the units. Yeah, just airship. Oh, the one last night, yeah. Crazy. Hey, copy that. Did you say something, Derek? Oh, cross traffic, yeah. Okay, making a southbound turn. They haven't spoken to me yet. Oh, hey, Audrey, I got you there. Okay, copy that. LAPD in pursuit of a DUI driver. We're in Winnetka. Okay, let me widen it. Yeah, he's slowing down. Cool. Thank you. Widen out. Yeah, go ahead. We're in Winnetka. Okay, red light coming up. Yeah, I do hear Robert. Oh, hi, Robert. Correct. They're in tracking mode, and it seems to be working because he was driving really crazy. But we're in Winnetka, DUI driver, LAPD Foothill. And there is an airship overhead. We saw speeds as high as 70 on surface streets. Yeah, look at that again. Oh, door opening and closing. Eastbound. Fifteen seconds. We are, Robert, but this is actually the LAPD's Foothill Division that is in pursuit, and we're a long ways away from Foothill. Foothill is the areas of Coima, roughly, and Arleta, and we're now entering Tarzana. So we're at Corbin and Oxnard, and you're going to notice that there's no units behind the vehicle, and that's because they are now in what's called tracking mode. This person was driving so fast and running red lights here on surface streets that the LAPD decided to go into tracking mode, which means that it's going to be helicopter only, in hopes that the driver will slow down and he will think that he is no longer being pursued and hopefully pull over. There's been times when I think he is slowing down because we had seen speeds as high as 75 miles an hour, but yet we are seeing that again right now. These are surface streets, folks. 90 miles an hour almost, running red lights, and he's come to some cross-traffic situations where he runs the red, and ideally he will be able to run it without any cross-traffic, but unfortunately this is a situation where he can collide with vehicles that have the right-of-way. Again, at this point, it's unclear how many people may be in the vehicle, but the car itself appears to be an older model Toyota Highlander, silver and color, and again, a pursuit that started in the LAPD's Foothill Division that got on the 118 freeway for a while and has been on surface streets now ever since. I'd say the pursuit has been going on now for about 15 minutes. So it's unclear exactly when officers first tried to pull him over, but we first heard about the pursuit when it was on surface streets near Rinaldi and Balboa, I believe, were the exact cross streets that we first heard the pursuit begin. And then from there, he hopped on the 118 freeway until he exited in the Chatsworth area, and he's kind of been circling the Chatsworth, Tarzana, and Winnetka area ever since. But of course, people tend to return to an area that is familiar to them, so considering that this started in Foothill, I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up in Foothill, but for now, continuing to drive here, I'd say in circles in the Tarzana area. Yeah, at this point it's all unknown. And the good news is, though, the car doesn't come back as stolen. So the LAPD has been able to run the plates, and they know where the vehicle is registered to. So this is a situation where they can send units to that person's home or where the car is registered to and wait there just in case that is where they end this pursuit. Because we see that happen time and time again. People will think that they are no longer being pursued when they're in this tracking mode, and they'll just drive home, and that's when officers can move in and take the person into custody. If they realize that tracking mode is not working, then they can get back behind the vehicle. In this case, I would say it's not working. He's wrong side of the road here, high speeds, so this would be a perfect situation to get back in there because clearly them just being overhead isn't doing enough because this guy continues to drive very recklessly. But again, if they get behind him, that may put even more pressure on him, and then he may drive even more crazy, even more than what we're seeing now, which is hard to believe that somebody could drive that quickly. But he's come to a dead end here. That is a security officer. That is not a LAPD officer, and he's making a U-turn because he essentially just drove himself to a dead end, which leads me to believe he doesn't know where he is. At this point, they could, if they figure out that he has any sort of pattern. So if he starts driving on the same streets, they could deploy spike strips up ahead so that hopefully he would run those over and those tires would slowly start to deflate. There's the LAPD airship overhead. In terms of a pit maneuver, that's just not going to happen. His speeds are just too great. Here are some LAPD units getting back into place. Perhaps we'll see them get out of tracking mode and go back into pursuit. Go ahead, Robert. Whoa, right there, just collided. He just hit the sidewalk there and is spinning out of control up against the fence there. And he is still in the vehicle. LAPD officers are very close by. The airship is overhead, so they're getting into place here. Time is on their side here. They can start to make call-outs to the vehicle. I do see him moving, so he is able to get out of the car. He's trying to open the door, but he's basically pinned by the fence there. He may need to come out on the passenger side. That's a situation where, as you said, Kathy, they'll likely have him come out the passenger side. But ideally what they want to see first is see him throw the keys out the window to make sure that there is no chance that this guy is going to be able to take off again, because even though the car may be disabled based off of that incredible crash that we just witnessed, they just want to make sure that there's no chance that he can keep going again. But what they're going to do now is just, time is on their side. As I just said, they'll slowly start to make those call-outs. If he can't open that driver's side door, they'll have him come out the passenger door. Yeah, it looked like there was another car. He swerved to miss that car, ended up crashing up against the sidewalk. But here we go. The passenger door is opened. And I'll keep a loose shot here till we can see his hands, because these are situations that you just don't know what's going to happen. So we just want to make sure that he is complying. I do see his hands up into the air, and it looks like he is, in fact, following the commands of the LAPD officers. Again, they are Foothill Division units. I can tell by their squad cars. And that person now walking back, rather, in the direction of the officers. He will be taken into custody here in the next few seconds, and then they will clear the vehicle to make sure that nobody else is inside. possible DUI driver out of the LAPD's Foothills Division, and that is all we've heard so far. Nothing about the car being stolen or the man being possibly armed, and you can tell that I didn't see them actually do a quick search on his person, so I think that's going to take place now, just to make sure that he doesn't have anything on him that could possibly harm the officers. And once they feel comfortable, this secondary team of officers will approach the car and just to clear it to make sure nobody is inside. We've seen situations where even though they're making call-outs, there happens to be somebody in the vehicle who simply can't get out on their own, like a child. Yeah, they'll open the doors, they'll pop the trunk, make sure nobody's hiding anywhere within this vehicle. And the other thing that they're going to also do for this driver is give him medical attention. That was quite the collision. If he is hurt, they're going to want to make sure that the LA City Fire Department comes out here and tends to him before they take him off to jail. Yeah, I don't believe that other vehicle was hit, fortunately. And at this point, that person who was in this vehicle appears to be the only person involved. I'm hearing the official code 4, which means that everyone who is in custody, or who should be in custody, is now in the custody of the LAPD. This pursuit, again, ending here on Reseda Boulevard and Paseo Nuevo Drive in Tarzana. Yeah, Catherine, Reseda Boulevard and Paseo Nuevo Drive. So in Spanish, Paseo Nuevo, Tarzana. You're welcome. Did you want us to get anything else, or should we go home? Okay, cool. Thank you, Derek.